Here's another section about my mum. My mum has an extremely squidgy face and body. My mum also has a skin condition that makes her face bright red and bright pink. With autism, I really like the colour pink and squidgy things. It's a sensory thing, and that's why I love earthworms and my mum so much. They're both pink and squidgy. I love them for the same reason. When cuddling my mum, I want to squeeze my mum until her eyes pop out. I say to my mum, I'm going to very gradually squeeze you harder and harder. So tell me if this starts to very slightly hurt, so I can stop before it gets any worse and hurts properly. No matter how hard I squeeze, it never actually hurts my mum at all, even though I'm squeezing her as hard as is humanly possible for me. She's so squidgy that it does not even affect her, and instead it ends up hurting me a lot because I'm exerting myself so much trying to squeeze her. Because of my medication, my levels of the hormone prolactin are too high. Prolactin has similar effects to oxytocin. Oxytocin can make you more empathetic, generous, and give you more warm, fuzzy feelings. I'm really worried if I reduce my medication and my prolactin level comes down, then I won't be as empathetic and generous. And I hope I don't get any less warm, fuzzy feelings. If I don't get as many warm, fuzzy feelings, I may find things less cute. I may feel less loving and affectionate, and I may want to cuddle things or people like my mom less. I may find my mom less cute as I find my mom really cute in an innocent way, like I would a dog. I also don't want to be any less sweet or cute, but my family all say that reducing my medication should not have any effect on my personality and should not make a difference if my prolactin levels come down. I love playing with Mum's squidgy loose arm fat gets called bingo wings, and my mum is like a cute little gliding squirrel. I want to stretch my mum's arm fat out like dough and roll it with a rolling pin and cook her and gobble her up. My mum is like a gelatinous blob that changes shape when you squeeze her. You can manipulate her and she molds to you when you hug and squeeze her. She's very malleable and even ductile, as you could probably shape her into a wire. She's like a fidget toy, and she's my favourite sensory toy. They're adorable and give me a warm, fuzzy feeling, like when seeing a cute, friendly dog. If I reduce my antipsychotic, then my hormone prolactin may no longer be raised as much. Prolactin makes parents more caring and look after their babies. I don't have kids, but I want to be caring to tiny creatures like worms and be caring towards my friends and family and help them and look after them. I have a really strong, cute response, and I even find worms and mites really cute. What if I no longer find things as cute? Women can still be very caring even if they don't have high prolactin, and they may become therapists or nurses to help people because of maternal instincts. But I'm a man. If I don't have high prolactin levels, will I not be as caring and compassionate and not have as strong maternal instincts or not find things as cute? Why are most therapists and nurses women? Will I be less caring because I'm a man? While I have no intentions of ever working with children, primary school teachers are also nearly all women. Although I want to be caring towards tiny creatures, friends, family, and people in general, and not necessarily kids because I don't have any children, I feel like if I have strong maternal instincts, it will make me more caring towards people and animals in general. I cared for my grandma with Alzheimer's 30 hours a week, and I never got any money or paid for that. But when I was my grandma's carer, I had high prolactin. I won't have high prolactin anymore. I feel a lot of shame and guilt just for being a man, and I worry I'm a bad person. Let's peel back my mum's flesh. So the first thing we're going to have a look at is the adipocytes, which are fat cells in the bingo wings. So these are look like little yellow round balls, and these are the cells, and they have like a black dot to the side of them, which are the nucleus. Next, we're going to move on to the rolling pin, which is made of wood, And inside the rolling pin, you have little tunnels made by woodworms, which are insect larvae. So the little woodworms burrow into the wood and they'll have their tunnels. My mom has the skin condition rosacea, which makes her face red and pink. And inside my mom's cheeks, we have the blood vessels and we have the dark purple round things, which are immune cells, I think, associated with rosacea and inflammation. Next, in the head, we have the pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland releases prolactin. And so I'm worried about how having less prolactin will affect me. Will it make me less caring? And the pituitary gland has two main lobes, so it just looks like it has two lobes in the drawing. And now we move on to the torso. So mom is even more pink and squidgy on the inside with rounder parts like cells and alveoli. So in the torso, we have lungs which are squishy and full of air, and we have alveoli in lungs which are like clusters of round balls. And round things are cute, and I like the shape of round things like my mom's head. And my mom's head is really round and pink and squidgy. It's like a round ping pong ball. Here's me simultaneously trying to get a piggyback off my mum and trying to bounce on her belly with my hairy feet, even though I'm 26 years old. My mum's stomach looks all curled up and cute as if it was a big squidgy embryo. Even though my mum is not pregnant, my mum has squidgy visceral fat around her organs. I'd like to bounce up and down on my mum's wibbly wobbly jelly belly. Autism can affect your senses, and so a lot of my interests are to do with sensory things, like the look and feel of things. For example, I love the colours pink and red, and I love the feel of squidgy and fluffy things. I like cute things, the shape of round things. I love smaller, tiny things. I like weird things. On the topic of rocks, I especially like round pebbles. And when I did a 2.5 hour long video about rocks being conscious and the neurology of rocks, a very large portion of that was my theory as to why rocks are round. I have a special interest in earthworms and my mum because they're both pink and squidgy. My mum's head is also very round and cute. I'm especially interested in mites because they are red, round and tiny. I am especially interested in amoebas because they are squidgy and tiny. My mum also has fluffy clothes. I am interested in fluffy plants and animals. It is odd because smaller tiny things are cute. Round things with soft edges are cute. Squidgy and fluffy things are cute. And I like the connotations of pink, like it being a caring colour. But pink is also associated with youthful qualities or cuteness. It is weird that sensory things I like are also qualities that make something cute. Because the hormone prolactin gears you up for looking after babies, I really hope that when I reduce my prolactin, that I will still like cute things just as much. As well as sensory things, there are other factors that determine what I'm interested in, like whether I have an emotional connection to the interest. For example, before I was that interested in earthworms and mites, I already had OCD compulsions around rescuing worms and making sure I did not actually accidentally squish or harm mites. OCD can give you more empathy and an emotional connection to things like earthworms and mites, which may lead to a special interest in them. Emotional connections in general can lead me to becoming very interested in things or people. For example, I had a special interest in my mom, who I'm very close to. I feel an emotional connection to parasites because with OCD, I feel like I'm a bad person and I feel a lot of shame and guilt. I feel like how a parasite may feel, feeling like a bad person, and therefore relating to parasites gives me a strong emotional connections to parasites. This combines with my interest in worms, leading to me being very interested in parasitic worms in particular. OCD leads to or amplifies my special interests. Maybe I like vulnerable things because they make me want to care for them or protect them. If I reduce my medication, my hormone prolactin also reduces. Will I be interested in different things and not want to care for things and be less drawn to vulnerable animals like mites or worms? Will my interests change? Maybe I find my mom and earthworms so cute because they're so vulnerable, pink and squidgy. Me and my mom both care a lot for each other. Prolactin may make you form emotional connections to things and make you feel more connected. I'm very worried that if my prolactin reduces, then I won't form as strong emotional connections to people like friends and family or animals in general anymore. If I don't find things as cute anymore as well, like earthworms or my mom, then I might form even less strong emotional connections to things. Women might form strong emotional connections to other people, even if they don't have high prolactin. But if I don't have high prolactin, then I might be less connected to people because I'm a man.
Part 2.
Here's why in a parallel universe I harvested my mom's organs. Quick disclaimer, this is in a parallel universe and never happened in real life, nor will it ever happen in the future. Here's a delusional belief that I had in a parallel universe. I've reduced my antipsychotic so my prolactin should come down, but I feel even loving than ever. They say without my antipsychotic that I've gone into bipolar mania and psychosis, and that is a bad thing, but I don't want this to end. Life finally feels good and worth living, but none of this even matters because nothing is real. Everything in the universe died eons ago. A dark, eternal void of nothingness consumed us all at the very end of time, but the eternal void of nothingness went on for so inconceivably long that in an eternity, even the most inconceivable, improbable things have time to happen. The probability of a brain spontaneously forming into existence is incredibly low, but given an inconceivably long amount of time, it could happen. There was nothing, and then my mom's brain spontaneously formed into existence. My mom's brain was simple enough that it was more likely to form, and was one of the first brains to form at the end of time. My mom's Boltzmann brain hallucinates reality. Reality does not really exist. I am not real. I can do what I want. Mom's brain contains memories, but these memories appeared spontaneously along with her Boltzmann brain. They never happened. All my mom's memories never happened. Boltzmann brains that appear at the end of time blink out of existence as soon as they form. Any pain that my mom's brain contains and feels only lasts a split second, and their brain blinks out of existence as soon as it forms, before their brain can even process the pain. People are saying I'm having delusions, that my mom can feel pain, but I know I'm right, and nothing you can ever say will change my mind. I harvested my mom's organs. My mom didn't seem too pleased when I harvested her organs, but I think it's fine. It's like when you tickle someone and they tell you to stop, but they're laughing and having a fun time. I love her pink switchy organs, but she keeps all her internal organs to herself. It's not fair. I hate her. Sharing is caring. I need to share the love with everyone and release her organs. When experiencing just mania, not depression at the same time, OCD goes away. I'm not obsessed with morality anymore, and with mania, I have no inhibition. I'm so impulsive that I do anything without even thinking about the consequences. Everything just feels like a bit of a laugh. Life's a joke. Life's great. Nothing bad ever happens. I thought, what's the problem harvesting my mom's organs? I'm just having a bit of fun. I want to give my mom's pink squidgy organs a big hug, and now I can. Isn't life just so magical? With mania, you can feel very loving, but the opposite of love is not hate, it's apathy. Love and hate are very similar, and it's easy to swing between those emotions. That's why when you see something cute, you can feel loving, but then your emotions flip and you can just want to squeeze the life out of them and bite them and gobble them up. They're all after me, they're all trying to take me away, but I'm fine, I feel better than ever. I fled to the woods with my mom's body. I carved faces into her organs that I harvested. Mom's organs are all conscious and now have lovely smiling faces. Me and my mom's organs all hold hands in a circle and sing, "Come by arm, my lord." I surgically stitched bits onto the organs, so now they have little cute arms and legs. I love our organs' cute round shapes with nice soft edges. The glow of the campfire keeps us all warm under the night sky, speckled with stars. It was so magical, and the trees were so beautiful. I want to hug the trees and swing from them all, but I was too busy cuddling my mom's pink squidgy organs. My mom's face is really squidgy and bright pink because of the hair condition rosacea, and I thought it would be fun to wear my mom's face as a mask. When I do that, it makes me feel connected to my mom, and when the government are after me, it'll be a disguise, and they'll never know it's me. But maybe I should get rid of the body in the woods. Nothing's real. I can do whatever I want. My mom's just so pink and squidgy in general. That's why I love her so much. In mania, I have so many ideas and I can't spend that much time drawing them all because then I'll have lots more ideas before I finish drawing. So my drawings are much simpler during mania, so that I can do more drawings because I have more ideas. Disclaimer, I'm not actually in mania at the moment, and this part of the video is not real. It just takes place in a parallel universe. In real life, skeletons are covered in membranes called periostea that are pink like mam. Although the membranes on skeletons are actually pink, how plausible is the rest of this story happening in the real world? The events that happened in this parallel universe is pretty much impossible in the real world. Autism can affect your senses, just like how some people are sensitive to light or sound. I'm hypersensitive to pain. I'm extremely sensitive to pain and gore. I get really worried even when I get a little cut. This also means if another person gets a tiny cut, it affects me a lot as well. I can't watch any medical programs at all like Casualty or Holby City because I'm so sensitive to pain and gore. I find it really hard to tolerate and have a very strong reaction to it. This means it would be extremely unlikely that I would ever inflict any gory violence upon anyone. I find it hard to watch programs with any emotional pain in either, and I can only watch comedies. If people are struggling with their mental health, I like to chat to them and help them a lot with that, but for some reason I find watching most programs too distressing. When you're helping other people with their mental health, it's different because I want to help them. But with TV, I find it very hard to even be bothered to watch any TV at all, and the only reason I watch TV is because it temporarily relaxes you. Except for when you're really bad and nothing can relax you. So if I watched more distressing programs, it would not serve any purpose because it would not relax me. Because I'm interested in animals and biology, I used to actually have a special interest in animal anatomy. I used to like comparing different groups of vertebrates to each other, like reptiles, amphibians, fish, and how they differ from birds and mammals, and how their anatomy has evolved and changed over time. I like invertebrate anatomy as well, like how octopuses have blue blood, 3 hearts, and 9 brains, although that is a bit of a simplification. When I was really interested in animal anatomy, I never actually looked at any photographs of animal anatomy and found photographs quite hard to look at, but I really liked simpler cartoony diagrams of all animals' complex anatomy. When I was manic, though, I wrote this. I drew a sack of fat that's like an amoeba. Fat beneath the skin is actually a happy, vibrant, glowing amber colour. It's like a tropical sunset or a juicy mango you could sink your teeth into mixed with the waxy look of a giant lump of earwax. Mania can amplify your senses, and when this combines with autism, you love sensory things so much. With mania, you can buy more things and spend more, and during mania, I was just buying loads of cuddly toys and sensory toys. I had previously never even bought any plushies or sensory toys in like 15 years. When I've been manic or psychotic, I've never ever physically harmed anyone. I always take my medication and I have not been psychotic in over 8 years since taking my medication. When I was psychotic, I was never physically violent towards a person, even though some people who are really nice can be violent during mania and psychosis because they're so ill. I recently was manic and depressed simultaneously and all at once for 8 months, for 8 whole months. This is called a mixed episode. Mixed episodes can make you feel extreme anger, irritability, anxiety, and aggression. That, for a number of reasons, is very different and more extreme to regular anger and a lot harder to control. I felt like that, but I did not even shout at anyone once during those 8 months, and I did not take my emotions out on anyone or act in any aggressive way to anyone else. Those extreme emotions need somewhere to go, and so I was really horrible to myself, and all my anger was turned inwards on myself. I did not want to negatively affect anyone else, but I was so extremely nasty to myself that I can't even elaborate at all in case it triggers anyone. Although the events of this story are highly improbable in the real world, I am curious whether I have strong cute aggression and that this story shows that. Cute aggression is where you see something so cute you want to squeeze it and bite it, but people with cute aggression would never actually do that, and quite a high percentage of people get acute aggression. Wanting to harvest my mom's organs is maybe quite an extreme version of this, and maybe combines with OCD intrusive thoughts. I think feeling loving and affectionate towards my mom is amplified by my autistic special interest in her, and this combines with the sensory joy of her being pink and squidgy and hugging her. This also combines with finding her really cute, like in an innocent way, like her having a round head and chubby cheeks and a cute personality like a lovely dog, and having a warm fuzzy feeling towards her. This all means that I might get an even stronger, more extreme cute regression response towards her, like wanting to harvest her organs, even though a large proportion of people have cute aggression, and it's not something anyone ever acts on. OCD intrusive thoughts maybe make it a bit worse, though, or make you more focused on it. All these things are what this video has been expressing about me. If me harvesting my mom's organs would never happen in real life, why did it happen in a parallel universe? Well, because of my autism in the real world, I am very sensitive to pain and therefore gore. Because of autism, some other people with autism are actually the opposite, where they are undersensitive to pain and not even notice when they've hurt themselves. In the parallel universe, maybe the version of me still has autism, but is undersensitive to pain because of their autism, instead of being oversensitive to it, which means they are undersensitive to gore as well, instead of being oversensitive to it. The parallel version of me could also be undersensitive to other people's pain and gore. That may have contributed to the parallel version of me harvesting my mom's organs.
Part 3.
I have to include my pet rock in all my videos. In my original first ever pet rocks video, I thought about making the rock part of my pet rocks just an outer shell and having a pink, soft, squidgy creature inside, a bit like snails inside their shells or clams inside their shells. My pet rock still has the same distinctive shaped head underneath. Maybe my pet rock is a mollusk, which is a group that contains snails and clams. At the time, I wasn't diagnosed with autism yet, and I did not realize I liked pink things or squidgy things. I also never included this idea in the Pet Rocks videos because I thought if I made the video too much related to biology and not geology, people might not like it, or it might be too specialized if I talk about both. Although I was not aware of liking pink or squidgy things, when I was a young child, I saw on SpongeBob that Mr. Krabs took off their shell-like exoskeleton, like when some animals molt their hard outer skin. Underneath Mr. Krabs was all pink and squidgy. I've never really watched SpongeBob since I was a child, but Mr. Krabs being all pink and squidgy made quite a big lasting imprint in my memory. So I must have liked pink and squidgy things from a very young age. My pet rock is all veiny and like flesh. A couple years after I had the idea about a pink squidgy creature inside my pet rock, I ended up adapting that idea and saying a pink squidgy squid lived inside my pet rock, as if the rock was like an outer shell. Some squids have fins in real life, and in the story, the squid had a fin in the shape of the rock's head. When I made the video about the pink squidgy squid, I probably still was not really aware that I liked pink and squidgy things so much, or that it was an autism sensory thing. In the new drawing, my pet rock is a mollusk, and some mollusks can have blue blood, but other mollusks can also have red blood, which is why the creature inside is pink. When I was 18, I was very interested in amphibians and prehistoric amphibians. Frogs and salamanders are a type of amphibian. I really liked the texture and look of amphibian skin, but then a few months later, I became interested in animals like octopuses and liked that octopuses had no bones and were squidgy and flexible all the way through, whereas amphibians have bones, and I preferred that about octopuses. With cute aggression, people have no desire to harm anything. Around half of all people experience cute aggression. Cute aggression is caused by feeling overwhelmed by extreme positive emotions like love and affection. People feel cute aggression towards things like cute animals because they're just so cute, or towards babies. Like I said though, around half of everyone feels cute aggression. Cute things with round heads or chubby cheeks can cause cute aggression, as these characteristics make things cute. My mom has a very round head with chubby cheeks. I thought about including in the fictional story that I scraped the pink membrane called a periosteum off my mom's bones with my teeth and cracked the bones open and ate all the squidgy fat inside the bones that is called bone marrow. The only time cute aggression could be dangerous is if a young child feels cute aggression towards a tiny pet like a hamster, and the child is too young to understand that squeezing a tiny animal too hard could hurt it. Earthworms are also pink and squidgy, and I find earthworms really cute. I rescue earthworms off the sidewalk and put them on the grass so they don't get stood on or dry out. I understand earthworms are very delicate, so I am very careful to be as gentle as possible, and I don't stop to play with the earthworms or stroke them. I just put the earthworms on the grass, even though part of me would like a giant earthworm to squeeze and stretch and play with. My favourite colour combination is pink and yellow, and I love that my mum's face is bright pink due to her skin condition rosacea, but that all my mum's fat inside her body is yellow. So inside and out, my mum is both pink and yellow. All the yellow visceral fat is around my mum's pink organs like her stomach. My favourite colour combination, pink and yellow. Cute aggression is caused by extreme, intense positive emotions and that are really overwhelming, but the hormone oxytocin may be involved in cute aggression and finding things cute. The medication I take gives me higher levels of the hormone prolactin, which is similar to oxytocin. My prolactin is too high, and I have to reduce my medication so my prolactin level will reduce. If I have less prolactin, will that mean I won't have as much cute aggression? If I feel cute aggression when my prolactin is raised, does that mean I feel really intense positive emotions like love, affection, and tenderness? This may lead to things like emotional bonding and emotional connections. Me having cute aggression is a good measure because it means these feelings are intense. If my prolactin reduces and I no longer get as strong cute aggression, it would mean that I would no longer feel these feelings as intensely, and that having less prolactin will change me and my personality. I worry that if my prolactin reduces, I'll no longer want to harvest my mom's organs, but I also worry that I'm no longer as cute as when I was an embryo. Here's me when I was a pink and squidgy embryo in my mom's tummy. I can't remember ever not having a fringe and glasses. I'm aging, and I'm maybe no longer as cute as I once was. I'm losing my hair, and my receding hairline will make me look a lot older. This causes me a lot of distress. I love my mum very much, but I worry if she wasn't so cute in the innocent way a dog is cute, then I would not love her as much. If she wasn't as cute, would I not get as many warm, fuzzy, loving feelings towards her? If she wasn't as cute, would I not want to give her so many cuddles? People form emotional connections and bond with cute things more. It's important that I'm cute in the same way dogs are cute. Everyone wants a cute dog. If your dog did not look cute in any way, you probably would not even want to look after them, and may even just find it a chore and feel anger and resentment towards a dog instead of love. You'd probably think, what's the point of looking after the dog? It's just like a job you don't get paid for on top of the job that's already stressful enough. And you just want some free time without having to be dealing with the dog. I worry if I'm not cute in the same way a dog is cute, that this will change people's perception of me, and they may see me differently. They may like me less, and I may not be able to form as strong emotional connections with other people. People say I have a very sweet personality, but in 30 years, I won't seem sweet, and people won't like that I'm sweet anymore. If I'm still sweet in 30 years' time, at best I'll look really weird and not sweet, and people won't like that. And at worst, I'll look like some creep. I am now going bald. And this comes back to what I associate with gender. You may associate qualities such as being dominant or an alpha male with being bald, or very manly, hardened person, or tough. I'd like to express my feminine, sweet and sensitive, soft side, but people may see me very differently or more masculine if I'm bald or have a shaved head. I currently look quite young for my age, and I look quite cute. I would associate more negative qualities with masculinity, like harm, aggression, creepiness, or making people feel uncomfortable. Lots of problematic behaviours, even if they're not necessarily against the law. I'd associate being less caring or compassionate, less empathetic or less emotional intelligence, or less sensitive to people's feelings. I'd like to look more feminine, as I don't really like the way men look. I worry a receding hairline or being bald on top of my head will make me look like a creep, even though multiple female therapists say I'm not creepy at all, and multiple female therapists have all genuinely said I'm the safest person to be around, even after I was telling them that I irrationally worry about making them, the therapist, creeped out or uncomfortable. But a lot of people go bald because they have too high testosterone. If you have higher testosterone, you're more likely to commit violent or inappropriate crimes. Does that mean losing your hair or having a receding hairline does make you more likely to commit violent and inappropriate crimes because you may have higher testosterone? So that it's not just a hairstyle, there's evidence behind it? Is it fact? Even though I don't think I would ever commit those types of crimes, people might look at me as if I'm the sort of person that would, or that they have to be very cautious around me, like I'm a creep. Would I look threatening in an inappropriate way? But if I shave my head, will I just look like a skinhead Nazi instead? Which would obviously be really bad as well. I want to peel back the pink membrane of my mom's bones called a periosteum. I want to then crack open the bones and feast upon the squidgy, fatty, yellow bone marrow. Pink and yellow, my favourite colour combination. The bone marrow is like a squidgy amoeba. I carve patterns into the bone marrow with my teeth as I devour it. My sharp canines slice through the fat, leaving the markings of a face engraved into the bone marrow. I could sculpt the fat so it had arms and legs like a biological work of art, leaving a person-shaped lump of fatty bone marrow. I like to think of the bone marrow as a little person who's conscious. My family would describe me as a very gentle person. If you have high prolactin, it can reduce your testosterone. I can grow a beard in a day and should win an award for how hairy my chest is, but I worry if I reduce my medication and my prolactin therefore reduces along with it. Will my testosterone go up, and will that make me more aggressive and less gentle? Even when I'm severely ill, I never ever shout at anyone, and I don't take my emotions out on anyone. It is really important that I am a gentle person. Even if my testosterone goes up, I might not ever be violent. Even if I'm still not violent, though, I don't want to seem aggressive at all. I don't want to speak aggressively or have aggressive mannerisms. Some people might never be violent, but they may still want to hit someone, even if they would not act on it. Even when I'm not very well, I still never feel like I want to hit anyone. If my prolactin goes down and my testosterone goes up, will I want to hit someone, even if I know I would never act on it? I don't want to be aggressive at all, even if it's just in my head. And I want to stay very gentle. Cute aggression where you want to squeeze and bite things is different. It's not like real aggression. Cute aggression is the only type of aggression that I don't mind having, as it means I love my mum a lot. I don't mind feeling like I want to scrape off the pink membrane on my mum's bones with my teeth and then crack open her bones and eat the little squidgy bone marrow person inside. Like I said, cute aggression is different from actual aggression. But I wouldn't want to feel any more cute aggression than I already do if my testosterone increases. On the flip side, I would also not like to feel any less cute aggression if my prolactin reduces, because cute aggression means I have a strong cute response. My OCD combines with perfectionism. I have to be the perfect person. I can't even be 1% less perfect, or I'm not good enough. I have to be the nicest, most caring, kind, empathetic, compassionate person. I have to be the gentlest person ever. I have to be the sweetest, cutest person. It's all or nothing thinking. I'm either perfect or a terrible person, and I feel a lot of shame, guilt, and feel worthless. I'd like to apologise because my mum and dogs have absolutely lovely personalities. I love my mum and dogs because they have lovely personalities, not just because they're really cute. But if my mum or dogs were not cute, would people feel 1% less loving towards them and like them 1% less? If I lose my hair, people might feel 5% less loving towards me or like me 5% less. If you're watching this and you're bald, I'm sure people like you just the way you are. But I hold myself to much higher impossible standards, and I will only take perfection.
Part 4.
The evil version of me plays table tennis with my mom's head. My mom's head is all round and cute like a little ping pong ball. I call my mom Ping Pong Head. It's a term of affection. It gives me cute aggression because round things are cute and I like round things. The evil version of me travels the multiverse. In one universe, they eat my mom's eye on a skewer. In another universe they put my mom in a blender until she's a lovely pink gooey slop, and they then drink a cup of it. Cute aggression is caused by extreme loving feeling. I love pink and squidgy things. I love thick, oozy liquids that love, joy and comfort caused by the sensory stimuli increase the cute aggression because they make me feel loving and joy. Mom's pink blended body would be like angel delight. I love the sensory look and texture of slop. That's the same sensory reason I love amoebas. And the evil version of me would love to feel the pink viscous slop in their mouth. The evil version of me will travel to yet another parallel universe, where in this one they will shrink my mom's head down so she's all cute and tiny and fits in their pocket. My mom now has a shrunken head. Things so tiny they can fit in your pocket are adorable. Because with autism I have an autistic special interest in my mom, it amplifies loving feelings and adds to the cute aggression even more. Cute aggression motivated the parallel version of me to do this to my mom. When the evil version of me travelled to one parallel universe, they got temporarily stranded in that universe. They stitched my mom's face on, assumed my mom's identity, and fled the country wearing mom's face as a disguise. With OCD, you can get intrusive thoughts, and these are intrusive because they go against your values and are the opposite of who you are. Some intrusive thoughts can be very distressing. For example, I worry I might creep someone out or make them uncomfortable, and that is a very distressing thought, which seems like something I should not joke about and doesn't seem funny. Because these thoughts cause me so much distress, I'm the last person to ever act on them. I get lots of other intrusive thoughts, and I find some of these other intrusive thoughts funny, like playing with my mom's head as a ping pong ball. I find this funny because it's not something I'd ever do. Sometimes my sense of humour revolves around intrusive thoughts, where because me, my mom and sister are all so comfortable around each other, I can say violent intrusive thoughts, like pretending to kick a family member up the backside when they bend over. However, I would never make this kind of jokes with someone who is not my family, as that may make them feel uncomfortable or threatened. So intrusive thoughts amplify my cute aggression, and my sense of humour around intrusive thoughts amplifies the cute aggression even more. There are other versions of me from different parallel universes in the multiverse as well. One version of me has to compulsively act feminine. This version of me became bald, and this next part takes place from the feminine version of me's perspective when they became bald. Here's how I turned orange and no-scoped a pigeon. So I had rosacea and turned pink, but then I had liver problems and turned yellow. The liver problems got a bit better, so I was not as yellow, but I was still red with rosacea. So I became orange, a mix between red and yellow. I was now nearly bald. I was still in a mixed episode with psychosis. I had empathy for the earthworms because of my autism, and attributed human characteristics to worms because of my autism. OCD made me feel hyper-responsible for worms and hyper-moral towards them. Mentalizing is the ability to attribute thoughts, feelings, and intentions to other people. With mania and psychosis, you can hypermentalize, and when this mixes with autism and OCD, you can attribute thoughts, feelings, and intentions to worms even more than usual. You can also feel more connected during mania, and this means there is no boundary between worms and yourself. You feel more effective empathy during mania, which means you actually feel worms' feelings more, even though you may not cognitively understand what they're feeling as well. OCD meant all my thoughts were towards earthworms. I was so overwhelmed with my own emotions in a mixed episode that I could not bear to see an earthworm in distress or pain on top of my own feelings. Then I saw a pigeon. By this point I had acquired a BB gun. Apparently a pigeon will occasionally eat an earthworm. The pigeon was looking at the earthworm. I grabbed the BB gun. Oxytocin, a hormone involved with looking after babies, can make you act loving towards your baby, but they can also make you more aggressive to anything that threatens your baby. I have high prolactin, which is associated with having a baby. Earthworms are like my babies. I wonder if prolactin makes you more aggressive towards anything that threatens your baby. The pigeon was threatening the worm. It had been a very hot and dry summer. There had been no earthworms around. Earthworms were dying, while pigeons are so abundant. They're everywhere. I had been watching a documentary where a person shot grey squirrels, so the grey squirrels did not harm endangered red squirrels. There are 30 species of earthworms in the UK. I thought with the weather, a species of earthworm might die out. Pigeons as a species will be fine if one is hurt. I held the BB gun in my hands. I shot at the pigeon through my window before it had the chance to eat the worm. I did not use the scope on my BB gun, so technically I no-scoped a bird to save a worm. The pigeon flew off. It would have momentarily hurt the pigeon, but the bird was fine, and so was the worm. Maybe oxytocin and prolactin make you more empathetic towards your in-group, which is worms, and less empathetic towards your out-group, which is pigeons. With mania and hypermentalizing, there was no boundary between me and the worm. It was like I myself was being attacked. I was already so overwhelmed that I had snapped. With a mixed episode, you can feel extreme agitation and irritability and anger. With mania, you can be impulsive and not think about consequences. I was so impulsive that it was hard to use stop skills. The worm would have died. I did not have time to think about what I was doing. I was just so angry. The psychosis meant that I had less insight into my OCD, and the OCD became more delusional. Mentalizing includes self-reflection and inferences and ideas about yourself and others. With psychosis and mania, I was hypermentalizing. I came up with so many inferences and ideas about myself and others that I could not keep up with them or weight the ideas according to how accurate or reasonable they were. I had no insight, and shooting the pigeons to save an earthworm seemed reasonable. With psychosis, you can be very impressionable and think you're people off the TV, or imitate things off TV. I thought I was the person in the documentary shooting grey squirrels to save red squirrels. Also with psychosis and OCD, voices in your head can tell you to engage in OCD compulsions like saving worms. The voices told me to shoot the pigeon. However, when psychosis goes away, you still have OCD compulsions around saving worms. You just no longer have voices. With mania and psychosis, the earthworm's negative feelings felt more emotionally real to me. Their feelings seemed more human-like with autism. with hypermentalizing, I came up with so many inferences about how the worm was feeling that I could not accurately evaluate the inferences. The worm felt like a real human, and I could not reality test this feeling. There may be lots of parallel universe versions of my mum, but there are also lots of parallel universe versions of me. In real life, I ordered a preserved tapeworm in a jar. I actually did this, and they were going to send me the tapeworm. The tapeworm may have been really long, as tapeworms can grow to like 10 meters, but it was just folded up so it could fit in a jar. After I'd already ordered the tapeworm, I got an email to say that there was a problem with my order and that they could not deliver the tapeworm. This actually happened, and in real life, I never received the tapeworm I'd ordered. What if in a parallel universe I had received a preserved tapeworm in a jar? What if its eggs infected me? The parallel version of me infected with a tapeworm wrote a journal about how having a tapeworm affected them. They loved worms, even parasitic worms. They had reduced their medication so that their levels of the hormone prolactin reduced. They thought if they harmed the tapeworm, then that would mean they had become less caring. When they reduced their medication, they did not even want to become 1% less caring if they had less prolactin. It caused them so much distress that they would not even kill the parasitic worm, because that would mean their OCD worries were true. The original tapeworm in the jar was called Taylor the First, but all the other tapeworms also became known as Taylor the Tapeworm. The tapeworms also spread to my mum.
I think worms are cute. A family of tapeworms live up Mum's backside, and they're like a cute little Sylvanian family. Mum's Teddy wears a pink and white striped outfit and is called Pink Teddy. One of the tapeworms wears a pink and white striped outfit and is called Pink Tapeworm. So we have Taylor the Tapeworm, Pink Tapeworm, the children with a sailor's outfit, a bow, and some hair sticking up in a lollipop. We'll have Pink Thing, which is Mom, and we'll have Pink Teddy. And Mom says, I'm happy as long as my parasites are happy.
The evil version of me came to the universe where me and my mom have tapeworms. The good version of me with tapeworms was ill with the tapeworms, but they muscled up enough energy and courage to talk. They exclaimed to the evil version of me, I have grown to love my tapeworm, hopefully just in an innocent way. But Taylor the Third is like a person to me. They're like a tapeworm bundled up into the shape of the person. I worried about being attracted to my tapeworm or making the tapeworm feel creeped out or uncomfortable, but worrying about these things just made me more empathetic, caring, and attuned to tailor the tapeworm and their needs. I never felt like I wanted to harm my tapeworm, even if I think worms are cute and feel loving towards them. Sometimes trauma and abuse can make you more empathetic, caring and attuned to other people. Having a special interest in my specific tapeworm and having OCD around them intensified these trauma-related traits in me. These traits caused by trauma can come out and or contribute to compulsive caretaking of worms. Maybe it's hypervigilance, maybe it's people-pleasing, maybe it's just being very agreeable. Maybe you put others' needs first to the point where you just abandon yourself. This could all be partly a trauma response, but abuse and trauma can make other people less kind and empathetic. It can make some people internalize a lot of negative and toxic traits they were exposed to in childhood and repeat them all, or repeat patterns of abuse. I, the version of David infected with parasites, became more empathetic, but I understand, given my past, that I could have just as easily gone in the opposite direction. You, the version of David trying to kill my mom, have obviously gone in the opposite direction to me, but then that just proves how easy it could have been to go in the opposite direction. Like everyone else, you are just a product of your genes and environment. No one is really to blame for anything. People sometimes have to be punished to prevent future crime, but I don't think anyone just deserves to suffer for the sake of suffering. You're a bad version of me, but I could not harm my tapeworm, and I cannot harm you either. I will try and stand in front of my mom and shield her, but there's no way I can stop you. The evil version of me laughed.
Well then, I have already won. You know, some psychopaths can genuinely still feel cute, still find cute things comforting in real life, but I don't have very much empathy, so I won't feel any guilt or remorse when I act on my cute aggression and kill Mom. Nothing you do can stop me. This version of Mom is basically already dead. Then another parallel version of me entered this universe. It was the bold, feminine version of me. They shouted, "That worm is dependent on my mom. If mom dies, the worm dies along with them. No one kills worms." I shot a pigeon. "I've come too far to stop now." The bold version of me shot the evil version of me. This version of my mom had been saved.